And welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. My guest this afternoon is John Clark from WCNX Radio. John, welcome. How are you?
Congratulations. Thanks for asking me back again.
Yeah, hey, thanks for coming down. So I was wondering, maybe you can tell us a little bit about who is John Clark and exactly what is WCNX Radio?
Well, WCNX basically started, it was an outgrowth out of a concern that Judy and I had back in 2002.
Okay.
That a lot of high school athletes weren't really being attended to or paid attention to.
Sure.
We had looked into doing online radio in 2002. Mm-hmm. Online radio at that point was very new,
right.
Very staticky, sounded like hee-haw radio. We put it to bed for about 4 years.
Okay.
It needed time to grow up. We came back to it in the fall of 2006, and then on January 1st, 2007, we actually went on the air with WCNX.
Very nice.
And it's basically, we spend part of our programming doing 60s, 70s, 80s music, and the other part is doing local sports.
Okay. Well, from what I also understand, you guys do a little bit. You guys do community-based shows.
Right. We're 6 months on sports, 6 months off. So right now we're in our vacation period.
Okay.
We do sports from September to the end of March.
Okay.
And then from April 1 to about the third week of September, we're doing car shows, expos, and the like, and
all the fun stuff.
All kinds of fun stuff.
Exactly. Now you mentioned Judy. So who exactly is Judy?
Judy is the Judith Clark.
Yes.
Judith L. Clark.
Okay.
Is the president and chief executive officer. I technically, even though we're not, there's nobody on our staff gets paid.
No.
There are 20 people involved, but she is the chief executive officer.
Okay. So
she owns it.
She keeps you in line.
I basically work for her.
All right. All right. So let's talk a little bit about community involvement at the station. How important to you and the station is it to be involved in the community?
I think we spend probably more time doing community involved activity than most commercial stations.
Okay.
Okay. To us, it's fun, number one. Number two, it helps a lot of nonprofit organizations advance whatever cause or event they want to put forward.
Right.
We give free airtime. We do free promotion. We do free everything. I mean, there's no cost to a nonprofit organization that comes to us and says, can you help us promote this event? Right now, we're working with the Middlefield Connecticut Lions Club. They're doing a 5K, 10K race this Sunday in the Peckham Park in Middlefield.
Okay. And
that will be run from 8 o'clock to whatever. And from what I understand, it's going to have quite a attendance.
Okay.
We've been running promos on it for about 3 weeks now.
All right.
It's on our homepage, and we have a graphic showing the race, but we also have the promo that we're running on the air for people that want to hear it.
Okay.
And they can just click it in place.
Very nice, very nice. What are some of the other nonprofits that you're involved with?
You had asked.
Of course.
I brought my own cue card.
Of course I did.
We work with the Middlesex County Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, okay.
We tape the chamber breakfast.
Yes, you do.
We tape. We also do Middlesex Chamber Today, which is all the different committees that make up the chamber.
Yeah.
Including Town of Westbrook's involved.
Yeah. They have. I think they have a committee.
We just came off the Coggins Regional High School Scholarship Fund.
All right.
On April 1, and they raise money for Coggins students that are graduating. They're going out to college, tech school, whatever.
Okay.
I mentioned the Lions Club in Middlefield.
Sure.
We're doing we work at the South District Fire District in Middletown. They have a fire expo every October.
Okay.
And we've been involved with that for the last 2 or 3 years.
Very nice.
Okay. Town of East Hampton does their Old Homes Day Parade. We put it on TV, all hour and a half of it. And it's one of the longest parades, but it's interesting. We work with them. We got their papal blessing, and we have a good time. I mean, we have a clean taping that comes out of it, and it goes on. We put it on TV for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Wow.
National Federation of the Blind, we give them free public service announcements.
Okay.
And St. Sebastian's Church does their Feast Festival, which comes up this year. It's the Sunday after Mother's Day.
All right.
I think around the 15th or so.
I believe so, yeah, I believe that.
Okay. City of Middletown does a fall festival.
All right.
And we also have the Connecticut River Raft Race, which happens this year on July 28th.
Really?
So we got quite a full basket of
got
stuff.
a full plate.
And I mean, some of it's on radio, Some of it's on TV.
Right.
But we get the word out.
Now, I guess the question is how do you said some of it's on radio, some of it's on TV. I guess how do you figure out what goes on what platform?
Well, like for example, on the raft race, we'll actually go out. We have Riverside Marina takes us out on a pontoon boat,
Okay.
and we actually will film the raft race in progress, and that
Very
we'll put on.
nice.
We may tag that on the end of a chamber program or something,
Okay.
where we've got 10 or 15 minutes extra time to fill,
Right.
and we'll put up coming up next will be the scenes from the Connecticut River raft race, and we'll put that up, and that will run for 3 or 4 weeks at a time.
Very nice.
So it depends on the event.
Okay.
The thing with the Middlefield Lions Club would be something we do on radio.
Yeah.
Okay? We can also do it on TV. It really depends on the event.
Okay.
But we're like AC/DC, AM, and FM. We do
Exactly.
either way, you know.
Now, how time consuming is it to actually go out and do a live broadcast for an event? Probably takes a couple hours by the time you get in, set up,
Couple of days preparation time.
I was going to say couple
We'll
days,
talk to
couple
the
weeks.
organization ahead, and we'll say, okay, what are you guys going to do?
Right.
How are you going to do it? How's it going to come off? And where do you want us?
Right.
So we know in advance pretty much how it's going to play out.
Okay.
We know what we have to do to get the shots in. Do we have to mic anybody up for sound and that kind of stuff? So I mean, it comes off as a very polished production.
It does.
But it takes some work. It takes a little bit of effort. But the end product we're happy with.
Right. Now, last time you and I were on, we talked a little bit about community involvement, and I believe you did Thursday night as your all your community shows.
No, Sunday night.
Sunday nights. All
Sunday
right.
night programming.
Well, let's talk about Sunday night
Okay, yeah,
programming.
we had to pick a night to come up with community programming. So what we do is every Sunday night, starting at 5:30 until 9 o'clock, we do specialty programming, something that's out of the ordinary. For example, the Community Health Center in Middletown
Okay.
does a 25-minute show from 5:35 to 6 o'clock
Yeah.
on different health issues.
Yes.
Okay. It's from 6 to 7, we have a guy named Pete Mezzetti that comes on.
He shows up.
He shows up.
All right.
He's in the cam, but he shows up. And he does 2 30-minute shows.
All right.
And then at 7 o'clock, we have announcer Phil Edwards,
Yep.
who does a show from Strasburg, Virginia. He
Okay.
does a thing on different songs, rock and roll, that kind
All
of
right.
thing. And then we have a guy from Florida, from Naples, Florida, named Steve Fox, who does a show.
The doo-wop
on
show.
Doo-wop.
I actually listened to that. I was listening to Steve last night.
Yeah, he's been around. In fact, I think he worked at WCCC at some point.
Really?
In Harvard. Yeah, a lot of these guys have been around in radio for quite some time.
Really? Now, let's go back to Sunday night from 5:30. No, from 6 to 7 with the Pete Mezzetti show.
Yeah.
Because what people don't know about the Pete Mezzetti show when I'm on TV when I'm on radio rather, is you can go and download the show.
Right. What we do is some shows are downloadable. Yours happens to be one of them.
Right.
What you do is you go to our website under Sunday Night Programming. You'll see your show listed, and it'll say click here to download the first show or download the second show.
Right.
Now, for example, this week we had program number 1. We had 15 plays, and I think we've had 8 downloads.
Okay.
Okay, which is good.
Yeah.
And the second show, I think we had 6 plays, and we've had like 4 downloads. I mean,
All right. It's okay.
it's doing well. I mean, it's like we ran the Tour de Lyme program.
Sure.
And it picked people's interest, and they
Right.
download it. And,
Right.
You know.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about, you guys also do television as well.
We do TV. We do.
Let's talk about TV.
Well, your shows are on in the Middletown area.
I was going to say we'll talk about that too.
Okay. The Chamber of Commerce is on Thursday nights from 8 to 9 in the Middletown area.
Yeah.
Friday nights 8 to 9 in Westbrook.
Down
and
here in
Sunport
Valley
area.
Shore. Yeah.
And then from on the Westbrook side, from 9 to 10, we have Middlesex Chamber today. It repeats twice.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
On the Middletown side, it's on from 9 to 9:30.
All right.
On Saturday nights from 8 to 10, We have Pete Mezzetti, Pete Mezzetti, Pete Mezzetti, Pete Mezzetti. You have 4 of them in a row. So if you like them once, you'll see them 4 times. And Pete, we found that you've got an audience. You have an audience.
Really?
And we're finding that it's a pretty strong audience, which surprised me. Because usually these shows, you wonder where they're going to go.
Right.
But for some unknown reason, and we don't have any explanation, it's it's just going. We let it go.
It's just going, and it's going to continue to go.
Yeah.
And
so that's the program we're doing right now.
Okay.
And again, and then all the other activities that we, community event stuff, we'll tag it on the end of a show, or if we have enough, we will put it into a 1-hour show.
Okay.
We're working on right now a project, and this is way back. I've been involved with public access for 32 years.
Really?
Now, I go back to 1984, when the Middletown franchise was run by Teleprompter. Then Comcast took it over.
Okay.
And I've been hanging around there for the last 32 years.
All right.
And so I've seen changes come and go, some changes good and bad.
Right.
I've seen producers come and go,
Yeah.
but I'm still here.
Exactly.
So I'm I'm the oldest one with the most history to know who came, who lasted, and who got washed out.
Exactly.
And it's, and we used to, during the 1990s, we did a very popular show called Mr. Pumpkin. Folks, Mr. Pumpkin's has been reseeded. He died in the pumpkin patch at Lyman Orchards about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But he's coming back to life. He's been reincarnated. And we're going to have him back on YouTube starting later this spring.
Really?
It's like the top 25 or 30 shows that,
Okay.
And that program, believe it or not, pulled everything from company presidents down to janitors. It pulled everybody from all walks of life.
I remember that show.
I mean, it was fun because it had people that you knew in the show. And people love their kids to be in the show.
Right, exactly.
And we've, so.
Now let's talk about before we go into the break. Let's talk about, we were talking about public access. What type of person is Chris Morgan?
Honestly, I'll give you an unvarnished opinion.
Yeah, unvarnished.
I've dealt with, in the Middletown franchise, I've dealt with 7 public access coordinators in the last 7 years.
20 years.
The last 7 years.
All right.
Okay. He is probably one of the best ones I've come across. He is light years ahead of everybody I've seen.
Right.
He's a think outside the box guy.
Exactly.
And he's willing to talk about different ideas that I kind of throw at him to see, if it's doable or not.
Right.
But I'm 65.
Right.
Okay, he's on the other end, probably at 25, 26 years old.
Yeah.
But the point is that the technology is the part that's exciting.
Of course it is.
We're doing things today we couldn't do 20 years ago.
Exactly.
So it's, but he's probably one of the better ones.
All right.
In fact, he is one of the better ones.
He is. He definitely is.
Yeah.
Would you mind sticking around?
I'm here.
We'll be right back.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sitting here with John Clark from WCNX Radio. John, welcome back.
I'm here.
Me too. Well, that's a good thing. So, John, we were talking about, before we started taping here tonight, I guess there was a little bit of
A dust-up?
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
With
we
the
probably read in the Middletown Press back in December. In fact, it was between Christmas and New Year's.
Okay.
Jim Bransfield wrote a column, actually about us.
Okay.
CIAC,
Right.
that sponsors the basketball tournament,
Yeah.
every March at Mohegan Sun, had signed a contract with National High School Federations, okay?
Gotcha.
And they had the exclusive contract to broadcast all final games at the Mohegan Sun.
Sure.
Which means it locked us out. It locked out WELI, ABZ, NLC, and so on. There's like maybe 8
Yeah,
stations altogether.
exactly.
We protested. We felt it wasn't fair. We covered these high schools. We covered Cromwell, Xavier, Mercy, and Morgan,
Okay.
boys and girls.
Right.
And it wasn't fair that we followed these schools all the way through the whole season and then to be told, well, you can't do the final game. For some unknown reason, they had some kind of powwow where a lot of big mucky mucks got together.
Oh, boy.
And then all of a sudden, we get an email on February 19th saying, we've changed our mind, you can come.
Oh, good.
So we ended up going. We went.
Okay.
And Cromwell played Notre Dame out of Fairfield
Okay, sure.
and won that game and became the Class M champion.
All right.
So, you know, we're back in.
Very nice.
I didn't ask why, and that's who. I just said, fine, we're coming.
Exactly.
And we went.
Exactly. That was a.
But, you know, they had some kind of meeting somewhere along the way. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody said, you can't do this.
Right.
Because we said, you know, it's not fair. It wasn't fair. I mean, we had done this for 5, 6 years, 7 years.
Right. And for them to make their
Yeah.
decision all the
Well,
sudden.
it wasn't just us.
Yeah.
It was Coach George DeMayo was knocked out.
Oh, sure.
WNLC in New London was knocked out. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody got knocked
Everybody
out.
got knocked. All right.
So,
Very
and they had a company out of Indiana. So it was like, okay, wait a minute. You're telling people in Connecticut are not qualified to do this game. So you have to go to Indianapolis to find somebody qualified.
Yeah, no.
My Italian ire got out.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so,
Uh-oh.
which is my mother's side, Sicilian side.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that,
On my father's side, I'm half Italian. The other half of me on my mom's side is I'm Greek. So I got a good.
so anyway, just, you know, we went and we had a good time. And they won the game. And
Oh, good. Oh, good. Now let's talk about high school sports with you guys, and as far as getting the word spread out on local athletes in the high school sporting. How important is that to you guys? Because there's probably, if
Well-
you guys didn't do what you did, I'm sure there's athletes that wouldn't get recognized.
when we first started mapping this out on paper,
Yeah.
this is back in 2006.
Okay.
I said to Judy, you know, the problem is there's all this talent walking the hallways of Xavier, Mercy,
Yeah.
Cromwell, and Morgan.
Yeah.
Problem is nobody knows who they are.
Right.
The commercial stations didn't want to be bothered
Okay.
for whatever reason.
Right.
And he says, you know, we can't just be a station playing music. We
No.
need to have a niche.
Right.
And the niche was, let's have high school sports. And that's what we got involved with. We just kind of followed the lead of Coach George DeMayo, ELI.
Oh, sure.
Because he did it in Fairfield County and New Haven County.
Yeah.
Ours is just Middlesex County. I mean, we're getting hammered now by schools outside our broadcast footprint, which is technically Middlesex County.
Right.
Okay? Oh, come and cover our school. And we've got them going almost into Enfield. But we can't, yeah, it's not,
You can't
we
bring-
feel we got enough activity where
Exactly.
we are. We have Morgan, we have Valley.
Yep.
You've got
Killingworth. HK.
HK, Hale Ray. You've got Mercy, Xavier, and Cromwell in Middletown. You got enough.
Right. You don't want to put too many hands in the sauce.
Well, like I said,
One
we
might
have
say.
18 sportscasters.
Yeah. Okay.
Judy and I make, 16 sportscasters. Judy and I make 18, and then 2 announcers make 20.
Wow.
I mean, it's a staff of 20 people, and we're all volunteer. None of us get paid.
Right.
We do this for the love of radio.
Right.
But basically, these kids get recognition. Now, one of the things we didn't know this about 2010, 2011,
Okay.
we had a lot of college scouts were listening to us around the country.
Okay. Sure.
So they would hear a broadcast we did. Somebody in Illinois would contact somebody in Connecticut. You need to contact Mercy High School or Xavier High School
Right.
and get the academic records for XYZ.
Correct.
And this is what was going on behind the scenes, because these high schools were getting contacted by people they
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
know.
Right.
And that's how these kids, so up to date, we've had 5 students get either full or partial scholarships.
Okay.
Good.
Exactly.
Good for them.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
college is expensive, it's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap. Not cheap at all. Now, as far as you and I talked about this before, but let's talk about it again. Your involvement with public access, and you've seen bodies change. Now, as far as technology, I'm sure that's changed as well over the years.
Yeah, I mean, we used to do everything on tape.
Okay.
Remember that?
I actually,
VHS tape.
I do actually.
You can't even buy VHS
no,
tape
you
anymore.
can't.
It went from, it's like with cameras, okay, you went from the super VHS
Yeah.
to 8 millimeter, high 8 millimeter. Then you went to digital.
Right.
Then you went into a card system. Next thing you know, you're doing it on a DVD. I mean, it's just the technology is just,
Exactly.
it's changing so fast that, you can't keep up with it.
No. And as far as the technology goes on the radio side, I'm sure that's changed over there.
Everything, I mean, I was
Over
in
the
college
years.
radio back 30 years ago. I remember hauling albums out of the record library down the hall into the studio, play the song, put them back in their sleeve, take them back to the record library and put them back in,
Right.
Now everything's on a hard drive.
Right. Exactly.
So it's just, everything's on a hard drive. I have, on air right now, we play 2,247 songs at random. Computer picks out the order and makes sure it's balanced according to all the legal rules and, that
Right.
you can only play certain artists so many times an hour, that kind
Right.
of stuff. It balances the whole thing out automatically.
Now, how many community-based shows do you actually have? You guys have?
For
Okay.
what?
For what? That's it.
Well, no, I'm just saying, no, not for, I'm saying, what do you mean by community-based?
Like me or one?
Right now, we're doing 3. We have 3. They have the 2
Okay.
chambers in yours.
Okay.
And then we just basically keep our, anybody that comes up new, we keep an open mind, and fine.
Okay. And obviously, you have final say in if they.
No, Judy has final say.
That's right.
I'm only the station manager, okay?
That's it.
So, I mean, you should know. I mean,
Yeah.
you get married, the woman says the final say. I mean, I throw my 2 cents in for whatever
Right.
it's worth.
But what's it worth if you throw 2
But
cents?
she'll say, no, fine, fine,
Right. Now, as far as people can go listen to the shows on air, online, plus on the dial, correct?
On the dial, we're a low-powered station at 1710 AM
Yeah.
in the Middletown area. Basically, it's the downtown district.
Okay.
We're basically an online station, WCNXradio.com.
Yep.
That's where 99% of our audience is online.
Very nice.
Nobody walks around with AM radio anymore to do
No,
that.
nobody walks around with an AM radio attached to your ear anymore.
Nope. No, everything's online.
Exactly.
Everything's on an iPad.
Yep.
you know, And that's how the kids listen.
That's okay. That's okay.
Like I said, we have 97 people in Middletown on average, and I think up to 40 in Portland. So that's 137 people every day on average.
Yeah.
That's just 2 towns.
Right.
Now, we have listeners all the way to Saybrook, over to Madison.
Right.
We know how many listeners per town.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
We even know when you're on. When you're on,
Yes.
it pops right up. We know when you're on. We know the town you're in. Everything.
Holy cow! I
we
didn't
know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we know.
You-
Always just,
Obviously, I'm doing okay then.
But we, I mean, there's a lot of data
Right.
that we, and it gives us an idea where we're strong, where we're weak, what we need to work on, that kind of stuff. So,
Okay.
but we're in all 50 states and 195 foreign countries, including China. China's a very tough country to get. China's a very tough country to get into.
Really?
They are very. They censor everything for some reason. They love us. Let us in. But China's a very difficult country
Wow.
to get into.
I didn't know that.
And I didn't, we tried it for a couple of years to get in, and all of a sudden, we're in.
Where they just shoot you an email, hey, welcome, congratulations, you're in.
All of a sudden because when somebody signs in, it tells you the country and then tells you the city.
Oh, does
the
it?
town that they're coming from.
Really?
So in Morocco, for example, we have 4 people all the time around, and we know the town they're listening and what time they're on and that kind of stuff. And how long they're on. So we know they're listening all day. Our biggest audience statewide
Yeah.
is Fort Dix, the military base in South Jersey.
Wow. What do you think that is?
They listen to us 20 out of 24 hours a day. We're a very pro-military station.
Yeah.
We run a lot of PSAs for military stuff.
Okay. And if people want more information on the radio station, where should they go?
Just go to WCNXradio.com, and everything you need to know is on there, including the Pete Mezzetti show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
It's very compact, like a cupcake.
exactly. Well, John Clark from WCNX Radio, before we say goodnight, I want to personally thank you for coming down, and thank you for everything you've done for me on the show, and everything, because everything's been absolutely
I'm glad to come
great.
in. I'm glad you invited us.
Well, glad to have you on. So thanks for coming down.
Sure.
On behalf of John Clark, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next week.